Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. It is Monday, December 18th. All the Christmas cards are out. We have the King and Camilla looking very regal in their coronation robes. We have William, Kate, and the kids in a stylized black and white photo that I thought was great. There's been some controversy about little Louis and his fingers, and is he missing a finger, and the sugars are going wild. Oh, it's Photoshop. Look, they're Photoshopping, because we know, of course, we always talk about every time Meghan and Harry put something out with the kids. We know that it's an illusion. It's not real. Yeah, little Louis, he's got his hand on a fence post. He's got his fingers splayed like this, like over the post. People are saying, oh, look at that. Look at that. He's missing a finger. If you look close enough, you can actually count the 4 fingers, and you know his thumb is tucked on the side. Silly. Making mountains out of molehills. But anything they can do to try to denigrate William and Kate, which just doesn't work. So there's that. And then you have Meghan and Harry's Christmas card, which looks, it was shot at one of their, there's a picture shot at one of their events. They're up there clapping like seals and grinning like clowns in front of a sea of people. I think what they're trying to portray in this card is their success, Archewell's success as a corporate, charitable, who knows, it's not really corporate, it's not a charity, it's their grift, the grift that keeps on giving during the season. That should be the motto on their card, the grift that keeps on giving. But anyway, yeah, their card. And no children, of course, in their card, because right now they're trying to rehabilitate their professional image. Because, trying to rehabilitate Meghan's personal image or that of as an actress or celebrity, it's just not working. So they gotta, in the light of everything we've learned now with Archewell, their financials coming out, that they're just bleeding millions of dollars, not bringing in the donations that they were. We know from their taxes that they work, about an hour a week at Archewell, which is supposed to be, their avenue to saving the world, and it's worth an hour's worth a week for them. Just ridiculous. A corporate Christmas card is not gonna solidify their image as a legitimate corporate charitable enterprise. Everybody's done with them. Everybody's done. They're not getting the big sponsors. They're not getting little sponsors either. And people that have been involved with them in the past have discovered that the only reason they partner with this or that or jump on another charity's coattails is just for the attention. There's no intention. There's no intention to actually make a difference, to actually do some work to better the lives of people. It's all about the photo op. That's all Meghan understands. Like, she thinks if she puts it out there and it, gives the impression, that's all you need to do. You don't actually have to do the work. You just have to look like you're doing the work. Up in Canada here, we have a phrase for that kind of attitude, and it's kind of foul. It's called fucking the dog. And what that basically means is you have an easy time when you're at work. You make it look like you're busy, but you're not really doing anything. Effing the dog. And this is how these two approach their whole careers. Supposedly. It's all about the image. That's why she hires Backgrid to, take pictures of her traipsing around a parking lot. As long as the images are out there, oh, look at Megan, she's out and about, smiling, everything must be fine. An image is important, and any PR company will tell you image is almost everything, but you've got to have some substance to back it up. And see, this is like WME. There's been rumors that they may drop her because she's just difficult. She's been with them, since April? 9 months. And even though there's been rumors of this or that, and we've got big things in the works, nothing's happened. There's been no offers. There's been no jobs. There's been no high-profile appearances. Nothing. WME, one of the most important image consultant management groups in the world, cannot put together positive spin for Meghan Markle. That's telling you something. And Harry's no better. I mean, Invictus is going down the tubes. Everybody is disgruntled and disheartened. The last couple of years, Meghan's insisted on showing up and being involved, and who knows how much of the money is being grifted off for her outfits and this and that. She's made a nuisance of herself, and she has alienated the Invictus staff, the people on the board, whatever, it's going to hell, and people aren't donating to that. All of their opportunities are drying up, and they're trying to blame everybody. They're trying to say that the palace is, must be briefing against them to put all this bad spin out and everything. They're still blaming the palace. They're in California. The, Hollywood Reporter says they're the biggest losers in Hollywood. Spotify executives call them fucking grifters. People know what they're about. That department store that had that thing in the window for them, making fun of Meghan and Harry. People in Hollywood don't like them. They don't respect them. Meghan and Harry are a spectacle. They're a clown act. People look at them and snigger. And, and Harry and Meghan just, couldn't be them. Couldn't be them. They think everybody in the world must be against them. And, we've had a couple little ups. Harry had his semi-win in court. That boy, oh boy, did their people try to spin it like, this was a victory, and Harry coming out and he's slaying dragons. He's saving the world. He's slaying dragons. This so-called victory, the judge agreed that 13 out of 37 points could have happened. Didn't say they did for fact, but could have happened. Says to Harry, I'll give you that. But on all the other points, and he goes on and outlines how Harry is, using misinformation, and how Harry's, basically says, okay, I'll give you this for these, but the rest of this, you're out of your mind, boy, and you're wasting the public's time, and you're not being honest, and if you read the whole thing, the judge was he came down pretty hard on Harry in a lot of things. And this is something that they won't tell you. Oh, he won. Well, he won a pittance of what he was asking for. Also, he still, just like the Mail on Sunday, the court case that from just shortly ago that he lost that piece, he's got to pay court costs. He may have to pay some court costs here as well. So even though they want you to believe that Harry's winning, he's really not. He's not even breaking even. He's not slaying dragons. He's, playing some game in his drug-addled brain of his that he thinks he's a hero and he's going to save the world and save the royal family. The guy is just out to lunch. Out to lunch. Meghan is so deluded by her own spin that she actually believes it. The two of them together, the downward spiral, it's happening. And as we see this downward spiral closing out the end of 2023, quickly we'll just get into things that I have said before. We've already started to see William exerting some of his power, exerting some of his control. We have heard through sources close to him that he says, it doesn't really matter what's happening now. When I'm king, those two, they'll never be allowed back in Britain, let alone, on the royal website, on the line of succession, as they've got it, and Charles is weak. They've had the second reading of that bill in Parliament now, and this whole thing is a farce. But that members' bill that they can now choose to, it's sort of an amendment from one from the 1700s, that they can now remove the titles from royal family members that they believe need to be stripped of their titles. Now, because we've had for years, everybody's talked about it, this big back and forth. Well, the monarch can't do this because of that, the government, so the government has to do that. And that's all smoke and mirrors. It's when it comes to a monarchy, it's his government. The monarch, and they say, protocol or letters patent or whatever. Don't let them fool you, because you'll see this every time they have a business dealing or a tax issue or something like that. The monarch has the power to amend, ignore any law he wants. He just, no, I'm the king. I'm not doing that. No. My subjects may all have to subscribe to those laws, but the monarch doesn't have to. And as far as giving titles and taking them away and all of this, letters patent, it's a piece of paper. It's nothing. Post-it note. A little stamp on it. Honest to God, they make it sound like it's such we can't do that with Meghan and Harry because, it involves the government and it involves... Not a chance. If the king, woke up tomorrow and said, nah, they're done. They're done. They're off of this, they're off of that. And taking the titles away, from here on out, they're Mr. and Mrs. Henry Mountbatten, Windsor. That's it. That's all. And they can take their British citizenship away. He can do anything he wants. And I have said this about so many things, so many times, over and over. Doesn't matter what the law says. Doesn't matter what monarchical protocol says, the monarch has the right to do whatever they want. Whatever they want. The rest of it is smoke and mirrors to make you think that they don't have the power that they do. But they do. So Charles could take care of this. He could have taken care of this a long time ago, and it hasn't been done. And this is why, members of parliament are saying, oh my God, maybe we do have to do something, and act on our people's behalf, because the people of Britain want nothing more to do with Harry and Meghan, and they don't want to spend another dime on them. They want them off the line of succession, out of the castle, out of the country, never to be heard from again. And really, Harry and Meghan in the rest of the Commonwealth feels pretty much the ask an Australian what they think about Meghan and Harry. Canada here too. Nobody really gives a damn about them, and everybody can see what they're doing. And in America, where they've tried to be, celebrities, that whole world is turned against them as well, because it's seen that they're nothing but frauds and grifters and just nasty, nasty people, and they have no time for them. So they are losing ground all over the place. And I think as that happens, they're getting more desperate. I mean, we've heard Meghan's people are now saying, oh, Meghan would agree to, a 40-60 split, 4 months of the year in Britain, doing the monarch's work, and then the rest of the time in the States. And, as long as they get a nice apartment in Kensington Palace, she'd come back, and she would, this is bullshit. Even if the king said, okay, come on back, come open arms, come on back, do you think Meghan would be satisfied for 1 minute having to play second fiddle to Catherine? She's not stand for madness. Everybody knows it wouldn't work. Let alone the fact that these two are crazy people, and do you want them anywhere near you or your children? No, that's not a good idea. Not from the person that says, Meghan, apparently there's a tape recording of her saying, we're just one plane crash away from the throne. Can you imagine? And we know she's crazy. Do you want that kind of crazy anywhere near members of the monarchy? No, you don't. And William knows this. Charles is still thinking like a father. He's got to think like a monarch. He's got to think of the head of the house, head of the royal house. He can't allow this kind of treachery to go on any longer. He's losing support with the populace. He's losing support with the government. He's losing support within his own family over what to do with Harry and Meghan. And like I've said before, William is starting to speak his mind a little bit more. We know where William's coming from as far as this goes. And if it comes down to it, William's going to win out. So not only will Harry and Meghan lose, that'll be the end of the road for the king as well. And I've said this over and over and over, and I don't think Charles has much more than a year left, if that. He is going to be pushed off the throne by William I'm convinced of it now. Because everything I said that had to happen for this to happen, it's happening. We're seeing it happen. So this is something to watch for in the new year. See the family dynamic. We'll try to notice those changes as William takes more and more control. Harry and Meghan are going to get more desperate because they're just losing ground all over the place. And I think, Charles is you're going to start seeing the desperation in him as well. So we've got some wild dynamics going on. I think this coming year is going to be very, very interesting. So I hope you all stick with me and we watch and wait and see what happens. I would love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Leave me a comment. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button. And if you'd like, you can buy me a coffee. The link's in the description. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.